Chapter 1. The Illusion of the Top. Everyone has heard of the richest 1%. For many, this group is the top of the wealth ladder. It's where salaries are in the millions, bonuses reach figures that seem unreal, and apartments cost more than most people earn in years. But here's the truth. This isn't the top. It's just the beginning. Imagine an investment banking executive. He earns a base salary of $210,000 a year. His bonus reaches $240,000. In total, his annual compensation is $450,000. For any ordinary person, this number seems unattainable. It's the kind of value that makes you believe you've arrived. But when that same executive sits down with a private equity partner worth $80 million, the balance shifts. Suddenly, that salary that seemed gigantic becomes merely linear. It depends on pay cycles, promotions, and compensation committees. Meanwhile, the partner is discussing equity stakes that could yield tens of millions in a single transaction. That's the initial shock. The top isn't what it seems. What separates the truly wealthy from those who merely earn a lot isn't salary. It's ownership. While you depend on a paycheck, they depend on assets. While you optimize income, they optimize ownership. Chapter 2. High salaries and the false sense of success. Being in the top 1% of earners is impressive. But it's a trap. You believe you're at the top because your income is high. But your income is still linear. It grows one promotion at a time. It depends on your time, your energy, your presence. The problem is that, at that level, you're still just an earner. You earn a lot, but you don't accumulate. You depend on payment cycles. If you stop working, the flow stops. And that's where the fundamental difference begins. Those at the top don't talk about salaries. They talk about positions. They talk about ownership. Chapter 3. When money starts working for you. The next step on the ladder is when your net worth crosses $5 million. This number doesn't appear all at once. It comes from accumulated bonuses, stock compensation, market returns, and years of discipline. Initially, nothing changes. You still work the same hours, answer emails at midnight, attend the same meetings. But the math starts to change. Suddenly, a strong market year adds $600,000 to your portfolio. In a few years, that return surpasses your salary. For the first time, money starts producing significant money. It is at this moment that you stop being just a winner. You become an accumulator. Your capital begins to generate freedom. You realize that you no longer need to depend solely on work. Money is doing some of the work for you. Chapter 4. The Investor. When your net worth exceeds $20 million, the game changes again. Now, your annual returns can reach $2 or $3 million without requiring a single meeting. Work becomes optional. But something new emerges: opportunity. You start receiving invitations to participate in deals that never appear in public markets. A venture capital fund offers a stake in its next round. A real estate operator invites you to a $300 million private acquisition. A former colleague launches a private credit fund and asks you to join as a limited partner. These opportunities don't circulate in advertisements. They circulate on networks. You stop being just an investor. You start thinking like someone who participates in transactions. And when you start owning pieces of businesses instead of just shares, your mindset changes. You stop thinking like an investor. You start thinking like an owner. Chapter 5. The Owner. With a net worth above $100 million, you no longer think about portfolios. You think about control. It's not about owning company shares. It's about owning significant stakes. You participate in acquisitions, sit on boards, approve expansions, hire executives. The distance between capital and consequence becomes smaller. When revenue grows, you see it directly. When costs increase, you feel it immediately. Ownership creates responsibility, but it also creates scale. At this level, you stop thinking like an owner. You start operating as a capital allocator. Chapter 6. The Capital Allocator. With over $1 billion, you no longer think about individual companies. You think about capital flows. Your wealth is in funds, holdings, and structured vehicles. You decide where billions will be allocated. Your conversations are not about transactions. They are about deployment strategies. At this level, money ceases to be personal. It becomes institutional. You participate in decisions that shape industries, sectors, and even governments. And then you realize, even billionaires are not at the top. Chapter 7: The Architect. Above the billionaires are the architects of capital. These people don't measure wealth in personal net worth. It's spread across trusts, family offices, global holding companies. They don't discuss individual deals. They discuss allocation mandates, infrastructure programs, sovereign partnerships. True power has never been about salary or net worth. It has always been about position within the architecture of capital. These architects decide where large reserves of money go. They shape markets before they even exist. And it is at this level that it becomes clear: the top is not what it seems. Chapter 8: Conclusion: The Invisible Ladder. Most people believe that wealth is about earning a lot. But the real ladder shows that the top is not about salaries, nor even about net worth. It's about structure. It's about control. It's about deciding where capital goes. The ladder is there, invisible to most. The question is, will you continue looking from below, or will you start climbing?